Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's Amanda. Today is the 5th of July 2020 and it is a lunar eclipse and also a full moon in Capricorn. It's a Sunday, it's about just gone midday here, and I thought I would come on and do a reading with the Metatron cards for you. So I think we'll just get to it and see what message comes up from Metatron, okay? Let's get to it. Going to have 7 cards, please, and we're going to be asking just for any message, any guidance that wants to come through at the start of July. And I want to keep this specific to the personal level if we can, rather than just a read, for example, on world affairs. I want this to be linked into you and your life. So let's just have a look at what's going on in your life at the moment and any guidance that Metatron wants to bring in. So let's have 7 cards, please, Metatron. Number 1. Number... I need to do that again. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. That one can go below. That one can go above. Okay, the one that goes above is the card of evolution, birthing the new. Okay, so we've had this card before and it's very symbolic, as it says, of bringing something new into your life at this moment in time. Could physically be a baby, but for most people it's the arrival of new life in some shape or form. A new version of yourselves, a new form of relationship, a new occupation, a new way of behaving, a new activity, a new interest. But it's big, and very much like babies are when they come into your life. It changes everything. Okay, you don't just have a baby and then just get on and jog on like you were before. A baby, when it comes in, literally everything in your life has to change to accommodate it. So the analogy of that still stands for anything that wants to come in and is coming in via this lunar eclipse energy. Now, when I say lunar eclipse energy, as I'm sure a lot of you know, it isn't just today, it isn't just tomorrow. This is an influence that's basically going to be around probably for the next 6 months, okay? But I'm actually hearing 3 to 6 months with the emphasis on the 3, okay? And what Metatron means by that is that for many people, whatever is being birthed now or around now, comes in sooner than the 6 month. 6 month is sort of like stretching it, because I just feel as though we're in a time frame at the moment where everything is quite concentrated. So, and accelerated, he's saying as well, okay? So we've got the card of evolution. I think I'd like to see what we've got on the bottom. And what is on the bottom is the energy of the inner child, okay? So what crowns this reading is evolution, and what is lying underneath is the inner child energy. So for what needs to be birthed to come in your life, there needs to be a looking at your relationship with your own inner child, your own inner child wounding, or just as is happening here, it's almost like a conversation with that child, with your inner girl or inner boy. I always teach that when there is going to be an advancement forward in life, whether you're doing some form of training, whether you're embarking on anything that's new, or it's very important to remember to take your child with you. And that might seem a bit strange, because you might think, well, of course I'm going to take my child with me. She's part of me. How can I not? But yet you might be physically carrying your inner child with you, but it's as though often often what we don't do is connect with them to reassure them about the changes that are coming in to your life now as an adult. And I'm hearing the word reassurance. So it's about reassuring your inner child that what is to come in over the next 6 months is good, even if it might not feel particularly good at the moment. Sometimes birth can be quite, I wanted to say calamitous, but by that I don't mean it negatively. I'm actually being shown something I saw in the paper the other day for some reason. I think it was in the paper or on Facebook. It was a lady, bless her, who had rushed to hospital to have her baby, and who'd given birth in the car park because she couldn't get to the labouring ward before the baby arrived. And the picture was basically somebody was just cupping the baby. It was coming out of her body, and she was being supported by somebody else. And I'm sure any woman in the world, when you write your birth plan, that's not how you imagine it to be. That's not what you want it to be. But yet the baby was okay. She was okay. So, birth can be messy, and it can sometimes not go as expected. And equally, I'm also realizing that for many people, the arrival of the new in your life is a result of having to let go of something. And today is all about letting go. A lunar eclipse and this full moon, we're being asked to let go of something so we can birth something new in our life, okay? But just realize that birthing process can sometimes be messy. Let's have a look at what the other cards are. There's a real energy of pink coming through in terms of the colours. We've got the pink card, okay? And this is to do with self-love and nurture. It's also got the scallop shell, which links in very strongly to the energy of Mary Magdalene, okay? Who has a strong warrior energy to her, a strong goddess energy to her. So we've got the energy of pink. So the importance to basically look after ourselves at this moment in time as we do birth the new. I also want to say it's pink, but it's also magenta. And there's a slight difference in terms of the colour energies. So magenta is very much linked into being in the present moment. It's also an energy of healing and self-healing. There's a wisdom, there's a maturity that comes with magenta. And then in the paler rays of pink, it's that lovely feel-good energy that just buoys you up, that puts a smile on your face, that gives you the warm hug and the cuddle and the comfort and the support that you need. So we're all needing to do that for ourselves at the moment as well. Rather than relying on other people to do it, it's as though we're being asked to look after ourselves, nurture ourselves, and take care of ourselves. Very much in the same way, if you take the analogy of birth, to give birth to, a baby that is as healthy as it can be, ideally, of course, the mother-to-be needs to be taking care of herself, which isn't just to do with diet and fitness and health. It's also to do with for example, not putting yourself necessarily in perilous situations, where, I don't know, you might fall or whatever, okay? So self-care, self-nurture. We've also got the orange energy, and this is linked in, as I've probably said before, to attuning to Archangel Metatron and connecting to Archangel Metatron. This person here is literally reaching up to pull down the orange energy through them, so that they are aligned with Metatron's wisdom and light. And what I always say is there is a merging of you and his energy, okay? So that you become that flame, you become that light for yourself, but for others. And also note the way that the person's pulling up to, is reaching up to pull it down. It's as though this beautiful orange energy is something, it doesn't run out, basically. There's a never-ending supply of this orange energy, which also helps to soak up any shock as well that may have been experienced. Funnily enough, today, I have a lot. I use obviously my own colour system, the sprays that you're used to me showing. So this orange energy is very much linked into the flame attunement and connection spray, and I will just put a bit of that around us now. Okay, I've also got a rose inner child spray. I've also got a magenta spray. So you're used to me showing these things. But this morning I was also wanting to put on a little bit of this one, which is the B26 oil from Aurosoma. It's called their Humpty Dumpty bottle, I think that's what they call it. And it's linked into shock and trauma, and it's one that's very good for when you're trying to put yourself back together again. And ultimately, that's what we're doing at the moment. We're all putting ourselves back together again because we're letting go of things, old behaviours, old identities, old ways of looking at the world, old aspects of our life that no longer work. And yeah, it is. It's almost as though the orange energy helps to, it's a bit of a graphic example to use, apologies, but it's like stitching us back together again. In the same way, it has to be said that if you give birth to a baby, sometimes there is a little bit of handiwork, needlework that has to take place. You know, if you've had a birth that has required that. We won't go into the details, but you know what I'm saying, okay? And in all seriousness, this morning, I actually wanted just to I'll put it on now for all of us. But what I did this morning, I'm just realising what I did. I actually rubbed it onto my palm. I rubbed it onto my pulse points. But now I'm wanting to put it here onto the centre of my palm. And I'm realising these are almost like, this is like the wounding places. This is the crucifixion energy. This is where the nails would have gone through, okay? They would have gone through our wrists and they would have gone through the palm. So when you put the orange energy on, what you're also doing is you are letting go of any shock associated with any abuse, any suffering, any torture, which also includes mental torture. That you may have been going through in this life or a previous life, and you're allowing that orange energy just to come in and help heal the different layers of the aura that might be affected, as well as the physical body. So working with the colour on orange and the colour pink and magenta all seem to be part of this prescription that Metatron's giving us to get us through the next few months, okay? So the oranges, the pinks and the magentas. And of course these colours they're warm, aren't they? They're warm, they're inviting, and they're very loving as well. So let's just get some of, I know I shouldn't wipe it all off, but I just don't want to get it all over my cards. I'm just going to wipe a little bit off. It'll have gone in to the extent it needed to, okay. But actually, as I'm looking at my, the cards themselves, the Metatron cards, I mean, in a way, that is sort of the colours we've got, the magentas and the oranges. So Metatron knows his colours. Let's see what the third card is. Communication, speak up and be heard. I'm just going to uncover all the rest. Detach from drama. How many times do we get that card coming up? Every time. And conquering fear. Okay. All of the cards that I've got here are all from the same colour spectrum, apart from two. So I'm just going to show you the four that all are these warm shades that I've been talking about, okay? I've got 5 of them. You see what I mean? The pinks, the oranges, they're warm. Even the detached from drama card, the whole point of it is that she's sort of sitting in this cooler place, absorbed with her own anxiety and fear and shadow and worry and stress and pain, but yet around her are all these beautiful colours that if she only opened up her eyes and looked up, would help her to feel better. Can't necessarily take away all your problems, but can make you feel a damn sight better, okay? So we've got that side of the colour spectrum, but then we've also got these two from the blue side of the colour spectrum, communication and conquering fear. So it feels as though for this new to be birthed, okay, for the new to be birthed, there is a block around the throat chakra in terms of being able to speak up for what it is that you truly want. Now this may very well be within relationship. It could also be within job. It could be within any area of life. It could be the very practical stuff in terms of, say you're working for a company and you're needing to ask for a pay rise, you know, or you're needing to say that you're not satisfied with what you're doing. You want a different type of work. You want promotion. It could be very practical like that. But it can also be linked into, you know, the messy stuff of love relationships, whereby there's something that you haven't communicated that needs to be said, but you're very frightened of saying it for some reason. I feel this could apply both to relationships which are in trouble and where there needs to be some difficult communication that has to happen. But also, you know, this card here, communication, excuse me, that's interesting. What just happened then was, you know, when you go underneath water and you can't, and you take a great big glug of water, sorry, you swallow some of the seawater, that's what I'm trying to say, and you get that horrible feeling that goes up into your nose, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's horrible. That's what I just felt. I literally felt like I just swallowed a whole load of water. And it came up the wrong way. So I know it's a bit graphic, but it's all part of this message, because it's almost as though we're just going to have to jump in, put our head beneath the water, come up for air, and basically swim to where we need to be. Maybe swim to where this person is that needs to receive this message in the bottle. I don't know. There's something going on here. Speak up and be heard. Because this is long overdue, I'm hearing, long overdue. I mean, how long has that message been sat in that bottle, bobbing around on the ocean, waiting to reach its final destination? And the thing you've got to be careful of is that message, it could end up on the wrong beach. It could end up with the wrong person. It could be opened and, I don't know, misconstrued. So... Can you hear that wind? The winds of change. It's funny, I've got like a block. It's like I don't know what to say next. But it's perfect because that's exactly what this is. This is a block in terms of I can't say what I really want to say because I'm scared and I'm frightened and I don't know how it's going to be heard, and it might be misconstrued and they might misunderstand me. And what if? So actually I'll just say nothing. But the winds of change are coming in. It does need to be expressed. You do need to get over this fear. The whole point of the card is it's saying start today, conquer your fear today. Okay, let's just pull one other card that goes with this communication card, please. What else goes with the communication card, please, Metatron? The cup of replenishment, gold. We've also got letting go on the bottom of the deck. Gold with communicate. Okay, what you have to say is golden. What I mean by that is there is great wisdom in what you need to be communicating. Also, your words can be like golden nectar to somebody else that hears them. Now, I'm aware that there's lots of people watching me and there's lots of different ways that people might be interpreting this. So it could well be, let's just try and give a couple of examples. It could well be in terms of love and relationships that what you've been bottling up and can't say or can't express is exactly what the other person needs to hear. And there can be a number of different ways that what that means, okay? It could be that you've been sitting on something and not saying something, and the other person is actually waiting for you to say it, okay? For good, for bad, for indifferent, you know, but something needs to be said. Maybe because they can't say it, okay? So your words are like golden nectar. And it's like, well, thank God somebody said it. There's a brilliant song by James Blunt, actually, which is about that, which is all about him having to say something I think it's actually linked into a relationship that's over, and he has to be the one that actually is able to express it, because he knows that his partner can't. It's a beautiful song. I can't remember what it's called. But equally, it could be something else. It could be that you're coming in with a message of love for somebody, and that person is parched and wanting to hear those words that you're so frightened of expressing. You know, conquer the fear, do it, because actually your words are like golden nectar. It could also be, let's take it into a business scenario. It could be that you've got great wisdom within you. There might be the most amazing book that, you know, or project or initiative or play that is within you that you're just thinking, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'll never get a publisher, nobody will ever come to listen to me, nobody will ever buy the record. It could also be song, it could be, you know, it could be music, words that come out of your voice as song. You know, what's the point? You know, I'm not good enough. But actually, it's golden. What you have to say, what you have to offer is absolutely golden. You've just got to get over this fear, and you've got to let go of the fear, basically. You've got to let go of the fear. That's what's coming through very, very strongly. Okay, let's keep carrying on. How many cards have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's pull 11 cards, shall we? Metatron's number. And then we might pull one more card from another deck. We're going to pull 13 cards, he says. Okay, 11 from his deck, 2 from another. Right, very prescriptive. It's as though that word prescriptive is quite important. It literally is like there is a prescription at the moment with your name on it. And that prescription may vary, and I'm not talking about drugs, okay? I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about things that you are being prescribed, that you know in your heart you really need to do. It might be words that you need to say. It might be places you need to be. There is literally like a prescription that Spirit is writing out for you. I'm seeing it now. It's like literally you're being written out a prescription. But again, as I say, it's not a medicinal drug. This is Spirit writing the script and saying, it's literally like getting the piece of paper, scribbling it down. This is what's going to make you feel better. Are you going to go and cash it? You know, are you going to go and get it? You know, whatever that means. Interesting, I just picked up this incense, so let's light it. This is the Night Queen. I used this in my Princess Di video, didn't I? It's lovely. You see, and again, this blend is I said it before, but the blend is very, very unusual and very, very unique. So the prescription that Spirit has for you is very, very unique to you. You know, it might be that there is a particular type of job that you're meant to be doing, or new business, new project that nobody else can do but you. There is a relationship, there is a connection with somebody that is completely and utterly unique. Nobody else can be this person. Nobody else can give you what this other person can give you. But yet you're too frightened to maybe approach them, or to make an existing relationship better. Again, there's a prescription for that. But equally, we are at times also of karmic endings. So it's about knowing when you're meant to move on, and equally when something is worth saving. And if something's worth saving but you're just in trouble, then it's like the prescription comes to help you with that. But the prescription might also be get yourself out of there. Okay, so it's going to be very, very different for everybody. And you're now all saying to me, well, what's my prescription? I can't tell you that. You know, that's the whole point of these big portal days that we have here. These are times where you're meant to reflect and go deeper, and commune with the crew, okay? Your guides, your higher self. What is the prescription that you need for this next 6 months? I've given you some clues. I've given you some of the colours that are going to help you. But ultimately, the actions are going to be unique to you and your circumstances. 2 more cards, please, Metatron. Yeah. Okay, I just said the actions need to come from you, you know. We've got the card of action. We've got the card of action. Movement needed. The truth is, and this is sometimes where we bang our head against the wall with Spirit. I've done it myself. Spirit can't act for you. Spirit can't pick up the phone for you. Spirit can't write the letter. Spirit can't apply for the job for you. Spirit can't put your house on the market. Spirit can't, I don't know. You get the point, okay? They can work through you, but there are times when you've got to do it yourself. We've got Mars in Aries, okay, for the next 6 months. And okay, there's a flip side to that in terms of it's a very challenging energy, but use it to your advantage. Use it to take action in terms of the areas of your life where you know it's needed to not just birth this, but to nurture it and help it to grow. It's like what's arriving at the moment is like a seedling that requires a lot of attention, a lot of care, daily monitoring, okay, to help it grow into what it needs to be. But equally, again, the analogy of having the baby, when the baby arrives, you very soon realize as a new parent, there are decisions that you have to make from day one, and you have to take action on that. So yeah, time for action. What else? And you see this card again, the card for action. Can you see the great big blinking shadow that's there? Okay, so this is also time to take action. And actually, yeah, look again at the card. Actually, I'm wrong. I haven't looked at this card for a while. This is the shadow underneath them, because there's no escaping your shadow, okay? So it's like time to look at your shadow side. This is actually the shadow of an angel wing, okay? So this is very much like the guides that you have around you who are walking or running or moving alongside you, but again, they can't do it for you. This lady is having to put one leg in front of the other and move herself, okay? Spirit is with you, but they can't do it for you. But yet we've got all this forward energy over the next 6 months. So to be honest, I'm going to be blunt here. There isn't really any excuse for lethargy and sort of just sitting, as my mother would say, like a pudding doing nothing, okay? We can sit like a pudding some days. You know, I had a little nap yesterday afternoon. Very nice, thank you very much. But equally, you know, not every single day can I just be napping, okay? It's time to look after yourself, absolutely, but equally to take action where it's needed. Also to take action on your shadow, and also to take action in terms of connecting deeper into spirit, you know. What does that mean? How do I do that? That's, you know, a whole video series in itself. If you really don't know, look back on some of my other videos, because I'm sure I will have covered it quite a lot before, okay? But again, connecting to spirit in essence is a very unique thing as well. You can guide people and you can say you could do it this way, but equally it might not work for you. You have to find your own way with spirit. But the most important thing is to learn to trust, to have faith. And again, people who've done training with me know I always say this, is that if you take one step forward, spirit will then help you take the next 2 steps. But you've got to do some of it for yourself, okay? You've also got to start trusting more what they're giving you in terms of signs. I'm not going to say what it was because it's a bit personal, but I asked for a sign the other day. And I asked for a sign the other day, and I'm not joking, it came in within 5 minutes. And it was crystal clear. And then my shadow side straight away went into, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that wasn't actually a sign. Maybe that was it was like, come on, you know? I gave myself a talking to because it was ridiculous, but we've all done it. So, trusting the signs that you get. Let's have one more card from this deck. Lilac, higher realms, and then on the bottom of the deck we've got the red. It's funny because as I pulled that, I was thinking, hold on though, we don't want people just floating away into daydreams and fantasy. Although in some ways that's quite attractive at the moment because the world's so difficult. So maybe a lot of people are doing that, wanting to just disengage from reality. But yet on the bottom of the deck, we've got the red card. Okay, so this is as above, so below. There has to be a balancing of both energies. As we evolve and upgrade, we need to ground and deepen our roots more than they ever have been. Okay. I also feel, I've never felt so strongly, having doing a reading, just how many different helpers are here. You know, we've got all of the shamanic guides that are coming through. We've got you could class this as the archangels, the angelic realm, the celestial realm, the galactic realm. It's like they're all here. They're all here. We're being willed on. We really are being willed on. Okay. I'm just looking at, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you the cards en masse, but I'm just looking to see if there's anything that I feel that I haven't said. Okay, I want to pull these two out. Okay, so again, going back to communication and lilac realms, also make sure that you are speaking to spirit. Okay, make sure you're talking to spirit in terms of what it is that you wish for, what your dreams are, but also just communicate. You know, I get this question a lot because I teach people how to connect to Metatron, for example, in my level 1 and 2 training. And often it will come up in terms of, yeah, but how can you hear him like you can, and how does it work? And it's been a process over a number of years. I've been consciously trying to connect with Metatron since 2005. And there isn't really a day goes by where, when I say I don't have a conversation with him, that doesn't mean that I'm walking around the house saying it out loud. It just means in my head, you know, something comes up and I'll call on him for help, or I'll question something, or sometimes I'll scream at him, you know, in frustration. Sometimes I'll be bad-tempered with him. A lot of the time I'll be very respectful, which is what I should be always. But, you know, I'm very human. You know, he knows I'm very human. It's an honest and real relationship or connection. And because of that, because I invest time in it and energy into it and talk and communicate, then of course you get it coming back to you. If the only time you ever turn to, whether it's an ascended master or an angel or anybody else, is when you want something, well, yeah, they're going to answer you. They're going to help you, particularly if it comes from a place of real desperation and need, and they can really see you need the help. But, you know, think about relationship now in the wider sense of the word. If you've got a friend, if you're just one of these people that only ever picks up the phone when you've got a problem to a friend, well, that friend is soon going to stop confiding in you. They're going to stop wanting to see you so much. You know, you're going to be, it's not an equal relationship, is it? So you need to be putting in the energy to this communication with a higher light and a higher guide. And it needs to be, again, I'm hearing a daily practice. In the same way you need to put in a daily practice to the earth, okay? I want you to put these two together. You're needing to take daily actions to move yourself forward. What does that mean? I mean, for me, do I get up every day and achieve what I want to achieve? No, of course I don't. Because some days I'm tired, some days I'm whatever, you know, things are going on. But even if I can just do one thing, you know, then I can go to bed and it's like, well, I've done something today. I've managed to do something, even if I've inched it forward just like by a centimetre. And some days, of course, you feel as though you've gained 2 feet, but then you've taken 5 backwards. It doesn't matter, actually. You still took those 2 forward. Otherwise, you'd have been 7 backwards. So, yeah, that seems to be the message here. Anything else that's coming through from these cards? Putting these two together, this feels as though the greatest gift that you can give to yourself, the holy grail that you actually have, is your ability to love yourself, look after yourself, nurture yourself, be kind to yourself. Kindness, kindness, kindness. I've been talking a little bit about kindness recently. The written post that I put up 2 days ago, where essentially I was asking us just to be kind to each other. was about kindness. It's just about kindness. The world needs more kindness. You need to be more kind to yourself. It's the Holy Grail. And from that place of love and kindness and softness and compassion, birth can be a much more easy thing to do. Okay. Is there anything I've missed here in terms of inner child? I feel there is. Let me just see. I got my inner child spray. Yeah. Rose, inner child. Let's just spray this and see if we get anything else. We're in a Cancerian season, so it's all the watery energy. And I'm being shown, remember when you learnt to swim and you have those water wings that you put on, the armbands? You've got an armband here and you've got an armband here, and you sort of bob up and down in the water, and you gain confidence by having the armbands on, don't you? And that's what I'm being shown that we actually need as grown-ups at the moment as well, okay? So it's not just our inner child that needs that support. We need it as well. So I know a lot of people feel as though their lives are in a very chaotic, free-falling state at the moment. Or, you know, I know where I'm trying to head, but I don't know how to get there. Or I don't even know where I'm heading. I know I'm birthing something, but I'm not sure what it is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how to get there. Just imagine yourself as though you are in this you're on the stream of life. You're flowing with life, but yet you have got your armbands on. That's what I'm being shown is needed. And the armbands effectively are your spiritual team, okay? They are your angels. They are the ascended masters. They are Christ. And, you know, it's not going to puncture. Okay, they're going to keep you afloat. So I think that's for people who are feeling particularly vulnerable and lost at the moment. And it's like, I don't even know where the stream's taking me. Trust that life is taking you exactly where you need to be at this moment in time, even if it's into places that are actually quite difficult and very, very challenging. Your soul is always the one that's in the driving seat. Let's pull one more card, though, from the deck that goes with inner child. Please, Metatron. One card that goes with inner child. One card that goes with the inner child. Healing, yeah. The inner child is definitely coming up for healing at this moment in time. So anything you can do to soothe him or her is good. Again, yeah, I'm not struggling to say anything. It's more just that I'm going back to the prescription, you see, because everybody on that prescription has also got something that's needed for their inner child. It's going to be different for each person. So for me, as an example, on my prescription, I'm sure what will be prescribed is to have more fun and to play, because I've always struggled with that. I've got Saturn on my midheaven. I've always been a bit of a, workaholic, which isn't a good thing to be. And, how do you have fun? How do you play? I desperately want to learn that. I want to know how to do it. And my inner child definitely wants to learn how to do it. So again, can I take some steps and action towards that? Or am I just going to be consumed by fear and stay in comfort zone? I don't think I'm going to be allowed to stay in comfort zone, because it's just like, no, the urging is too strong within me to break out of that old boundary that I've put around myself, which is that life is just about work. Well, it's like, no, I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun. And I want to play, and I want to be a bit silly and blah, blah, blah. So, but for you, it could be completely different, okay? Think about you think about your childhood, think about what you need, what your inner child needs. I can't say what that is, because there's going to be 1,000 different connotations of that. I do strongly suspect, though, that for a lot of people it might be play, because like attracts like. So energetically, if you watch me a lot, you're attracted to my energy, and there will be a strand of you that is like me and me that is like you. That's just the way it works. But there will be other variations as well. Of course, people that have been abused as children, or hurt as children, or abandoned as children, that's a huge one. Yeah, straight away abandonment comes up. Abandonment is huge right now as an inner child issue that's coming up for grown-ups to sort out. You know, and that's often why we stay in comfort zones as well, because we've got a deep fear of abandonment. And I will cling on to the raft that is keeping me afloat, even though the raft is really uncomfortable, the raft is soggy, the raft is not where I want to be at all, but I'll cling to it because I'm just I'm frightened of ultimately the core wound, which is abandonment. I'm frightened of being alone. And that's a biggie, isn't it? That's a biggie. Maybe we could look at that as a separate video. As I've brought up the subject of abandonment, Metatron, let's just have one card that feels into that energy, abandonment, because a lot of people are feeling this at the moment, the energy of abandonment, that maybe you were abandoned as a child, or maybe you physically were abandoned as a child, or maybe you just emotionally felt abandoned. You were left to your own devices, you had to bring yourself up, you had to look after yourself, you had to be the grown-up at a very young age. Maybe you had a parent that was very needy or dysfunctional, or an addict, or just absent, and so therefore you had to be the grown-up. But yet you were a child. You were 5, you were 7, you were 9. You should have been doing things that you should have been doing at that age, having fun, playing, you know. But no, you were having to either energetically and emotionally hold the fort, or very physically having to. So this is very, very deep. It's very it's a big old hook that's in us, I'm being told. I'm being shown like a big fish hook. And it's very, very deep in a lot of us. And it's, where is it? It's in the heart chakra. It's a big hook in the heart chakra, which is, I'm going to hold on to anything rather than let go and have nothing. Now, the truth is, the universe is never going to give you nothing. So we get to, what do you believe the universe to be? Do you believe the universe to be a loving, kind, compassionate place that's going to support you? Or do you want to stay in that wounded child energy, which is that there might be nothing, so I'm just going to cling on to anything. Anything is better than nothing. That's going to keep you in the same place. That's going to that you're not going to be able to evolve as easily. I know you know this at a rational mental level, but I'm talking to you and I'm trying to help your body to get it. I'm also allowing my body to get it as well, because remember, words and communication are actually part of the prescription and the healing that's needed at this time. You can have heard something 100 times before, but then you hear it again and it's like, actually, yeah. The vibration of those words are healing in itself. Abandonment. I mean, in many ways, we've maybe got the card out, which is this one. It's the core wound. It's starting to connect into Mother Earth and realising you never were abandoned. The Earth loves you. The Earth loves you. The universe loves you. And if we can really, truly sink into that, we can let go of what we need to let go of, because we know something else will come in that's better, that's more aligned to us. 44 minutes as I said that. The angels around us. Okay, one more card linked into abandonment, please, Metatron. Well, we've got 2. Yeah, look at this, you see. This is the Indigo card. This is like the child lost alone in the universe, okay? Of course she's not, because this one is actually asking the child, it is the child, it's a little girl, just to realise that she is not alone, that actually there is a huge mystery and mastery of life. She's just underneath the star, she's on her own, but actually she has everything. She has the Holy Grail because she's underneath the star, and the star is the thing that will guide you home. The star is the thing that guides you, that supports you, that strengthens you, that gives you the light to see in the dark. And you've got the dragon energy as well. The dragon energy that wants to come in and purify and transmute these core wounds that are keeping you bound to an old version, an old past life that you're ready to let go of and evolve from. And the dragon is also coming in and giving you enormous strength to go into the dark, to be brave, to conquer the fear, to birth the new, to birth this. Strong solar plexus energy as well with the dragon, the tetrahedron, Let's pull a dragon card to finish with. Where is my deck? Here it is. This was a deck that was gifted to me, and it's called the Dragon Oracle by Cathelijne Filippo. I think the lady might be Dutch. And I think they're only available via her website, so I'll put the link up to that. And let's just see what dragon wants to come forward for us. Somebody sent me some dragon's blood incense cones, so let's put one of those on. Dragon's blood. Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that was in the packet. Look at that. Isn't that dinky? It's got a little thing to light it on. Okay. Oh, it smells good. Let's just light this. Try not to burn my finger. So this is dragon's blood incense cone, just to help us transmute these fears. Let's see what dragon wants to come in. As well as the Metatron dragon as well. He's a bit cross that I've just said that. He said, hold on a minute, I'm already here. Yeah, we know you're here. The orange fire dragon, okay. He is a bit cross about that. He's like, I'm here. Why have you just gone and got another dragon deck? Okay, he just wants me to note, for you to note him. He says, put this card up with it. Hold on. Oh! God, I nearly set fire to that. The cone fell off on the card. It's all going on, guys. Okay, the orange energy. All right. Remember what I was saying about orange energy earlier? Okay, soaking up shock, healing the aura, healing the sacral, bringing in that fire energy that we need. Okay, let's just see. Can I have another dragon energy with you, please? Yes. Okay. Oh, right, okay. One's just fallen out. That one was on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to show you what it is, but I know I shouldn't do this. I'm not sure it is actually the right one. Well, it's not the wrong one. Of course it's not, because it's saying connect to nature. How could that be wrong? But I just feel there's another one. So, yeah, there's three. Okay, connect to nature. So we've got the green dragon. Spend time in nature and let its healing powers fill you. Okay, right. That is a definite, isn't it? That's an absolute definite. So we've got the fire dragon, Metatron fire dragon. We've got the green dragon connected to nature. I still think there's one more. Let's just see what else. Okay. Take your time. Take your time. You know, the thing is with dragons is they've got a very, they are like this, well, yeah, I'm just getting this slow energy. They're a bit lumbering, but yet there's so much power. It's like a dinosaur. It's like, you know, whoa, whoa. It's like the big beast. I don't know what this dragon, it's going to come out probably now as an air dragon, isn't it? But anyway, I'm just feeling this like, oh. Okay, come on. You can do it. Which one? Oh, I'm looking for this. That's so funny. I'm looking at the picture because it's like, where's the dragon? Actually, it's up there. Is this spirit having a laugh? It's a blinking one flying in the air as I'm talking about one's lumbering. Okay, it looks like a little black dragon there. And it says, bring magic to your home life. Take time to enjoy life and to be at home with yourself. Okay, I'm going to read the message that goes with this one. So I think there must be another message, but it's a tiny little black one. But it's got some power. Bring magic. Let's see what it says. And then it's lunchtime, and I'm going to go out into nature and have a walk, I think. It's beautiful out there. Oh, sorry. Bring magic into your life. High up in, let me pull the card up. High up in the mountainous cliffs lies the dragon's nest. No other creature ventures as high. And this, you see, I told you it was going to be one that wasn't on the earth. No dragon ventures as high, and this gives the dragon some much wanted peace and quiet. Even if it looks like a simple nest, a dragon's home is his castle, and no one should enter uninvited. This card, therefore, is about your home and your home life. No matter where you live, whether in a house or an apartment, a studio or a boat, a dwelling only becomes a home when it is filled with your energy and love. Do you feel at home where you live? This card invites you to spend time in your home and enjoy some downtime. Well, we've all been doing that with lockdown. It's also asking us to address any issues that are within our home that are not harmonious. It's noting about feng shui within the home. It's asking about work-life balance. Do you work to live or do you live to work? There is a big difference between the two. Yeah. And the declaration is, I am at home with myself. My home is loved and cared for. I am at home on this earth. Okay. So we've got some dragon energy just coming in at the end there as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope you're all well. I'll be back next week and we'll do some more work together. Much love. Just wanted to really honour today's lunar eclipse. Have a good one. Hope you're well. Much love. Bye for now.